And I'm officially recording. So let me share my screen. Sound. Here we go. So, thumbs up, you can hear me, see me. Screen is good. All right, let's do this. So, things you need to know first and foremost. My Wi-Fi is going slow. Some new things your students are going to see on campus and you will see on campus. You will see a new refillable water station. I will talk a little bit about water at the end, but we do have 2 of these on campus now. Hands-free will refill perfectly clean filtered water. There are dots and paw prints and everything you can imagine all over the place. So, oops, I lost you guys. So your students will learn really quickly where they're supposed to be standing, what they're supposed to be looking for. These dots are in by restrooms and out by the walkers zones, and I'll explain that. These paw prints are outside classrooms and in different quad areas where students are going to wait for parents for pickup or to go to their classrooms. There is signage all over the place about social distancing and face masks. We still have 6 feet on the signage. It has recently shifted to 3. We're maintaining 6 wherever possible. So we'll continue to do those things, and as guidelines change, we'll adjust. And then every classroom has a now automatic hand sanitizer. There's hand sanitizer everywhere you look now. Washing hands is happening everywhere as well. So just there's a lot of new pieces on campus that your students will probably come home and share with you. Oops. So first you need to know, when are kiddos returning? 2nd and 3rd will return next week. Monday will be my group A. Wednesday will be my group B. What does that mean? Well, that means my students A through L will be coming the Monday, Tuesday groups. My students with the last name of M through Z will be coming the Wednesday, Thursday. Some of you have reached out in the email or contacted us in the office, and we have changed your days. If you just want to make sure and you want to, you've talked to me or we've talked to you, call the office and we can double check that you've been shifted. There's lots of reasons why people are shifting, and so if you need to, we're going to make it happen as much as we can. As numbers permit and as everything balances out, we will. So just let the office know if you need to make a change. The best thing to do is email, because then we have the written confirmation that we've done it and you've got those pieces. Arrival times. So we've got 2nd graders and 3rd graders. 3rd graders will arrive at 7:45. You're starting at 8 o'clock. Okay. So 3rd graders can get out of their cars at 7:45 and they will go straight to their classrooms. Teachers will be opening the doors. Our 2nd graders will not be able to get out of the cars till 8 o'clock. Here's what you need to know. All of the 3rd through 6th grade teachers know, if a student has a younger sibling that's coming to in-person, they're going to come late, because I'm not letting the younger siblings out of the car till 8 o'clock. If you want to go through the line twice, let's say you have a 3rd grader and you have a kindergartner, and you want your 3rd grader to be in that classroom by 8 o'clock, you're welcome to let your 3rd grader out at 7:45, loop around and come back at 8 o'clock and let your younger one out. Or the teachers will not be marking anybody tardy that comes with the younger sibling from 8 o'clock to 8:10. My teachers were told, we will be letting you know who needs to be tardy. And once this parking lot is empty, that's when we know we have to start marking people tardy. But teachers are shifting their days. The students that are home are logging in a little bit differently. So just know, don't panic about tardies. Okay. It's a shift. It's an adjustment. So 3rd graders can get out of the car at 7:45. The reason for that is I don't have the manpower to watch kids, and classroom doors aren't opening until certain times. So it's been an adjustment. We're figuring it out. This could change in the next few weeks once the dust settles. For now, 3rd graders can arrive as early as 7:45. And we are not letting anybody out of the car until their allotted time, which is frustrating, and I apologize, but it's how we're keeping everybody safe. You will be picking up, I don't think they've been picked up yet, and I don't have one in front of me, and I should, a sign that will go in your window. It has your student's name, it has their grade, and it has their teacher. Please, please, please put this in your window. As we're directing traffic in the morning, we know to wave you on because there's a place to drop off, or we know that we can have you stop where you are. We've got to keep the traffic flowing. We want to make sure our parking lot keeps moving smoothly. And so your dash, having that paper, is really imperative to keeping things going smoothly. The morning won't be as much as in the afternoon, because we'll have pickup zones. So, and I'll explain all that in a minute. So that dashboard piece is something you'll want to make sure you have. Only students will be allowed to get out of the car. So whenever possible, make sure they're getting out on the curbside. And you may not park and walk them across the street. You have to stay in the line. If you're a family that is walking up, you will see where the stops are, and I'll show you pictures as well, where parents can't go beyond a certain point. And again, that's to limit the foot traffic on campus. I promise your second grade babies will get to their class. We've got bodies milling around in the morning. We will make sure they are there. So yeah, we'll talk through those pieces there. Make sure students are only allowed out their side times. And yeah. And let's keep going. So arrivals. This is not your arrival. We will go to the next one. TK through 2nd and 3rd grade. You guys will be dropped off. And so TK and K will always be dropped off at that kindergarten gate. 1st through 3rd will be dropped off anywhere along here. Originally, we were going to have a 4th through 6th and a 1st through 3rd. And we're finding that as long as we can keep traffic moving, we're good. We will direct traffic. The students will see when they get out of the car, 1st through 3rd is going to follow a blue dotted line that will take them to their classrooms. Once we get the upper graders, they will follow a white line to their classrooms. So once they're out of the cars, we will have aides that are directing them towards their classrooms. They will go straight to their classrooms, not to the playgrounds anymore. That's part of the reason why we have the drop off the way it is, to eliminate cohorts intermixing. So they'll hop out of your car. When they come to your car, we're going to ask if they have this handy dandy green sheet, which I will show you a picture of in a minute. And then if they don't have it, we'll show you that piece and we'll go from there. So in the mornings, you will drive through, kids will hop out of the car, and we will direct them towards their classrooms. They will not go to the playground, straight to classrooms. There will be lots of signage. There will be signs saying 1st through drop off, 3rd drop off here, TK through K drop off here. So look for the cones, look for the aides waving you on. I will be back out in the parking lot. Looking forward to seeing all your people as well. Dismissal. So this is what I was talking about. You will have one of these signs color coded for your grade level. Student's name, teacher, grade. If that's on your dash, we will be able to wave you on. Additionally, I will have someone on a radio as you pull into the parking lot saying, Ethan Flower, Mrs. Moore, grade 3, so that the aide that's with that group of kids can say, hey, Ethan, your parents driving through, get ready, look for your car. So what we have to hang on to, and I think this is a big piece I should have prefaced with, our brains are all thinking back to March 12th pickup, where we had 400 students, roughly 350 if you take out our TKers, leaving campus at the same time. We don't have that anymore. The most we'll have on your 2 days is about 100. So that right there takes that parking lot chaos down to a fourth of what it typically was. So this will take a few bumps to get used to, but it will go smooth and we will be good. 1st through 2nd grade will be released at 11:50. They will walk out with their teachers. They will have assigned paw prints that they'll sit on, waiting for you. 12 o'clock, the 3rd through 6th will walk out. And again, we will have aides, radios. Again, no families will be allowed to walk on campus where we used to hang out in our big quad area. We can't have families and parents waiting for kids anymore. We will have 2 zones what they'll walk to, and I'll show you those in a second. And you will have to stay in your car, okay? Here's what you need to know. So we've got a couple different areas. We've got, that's not yours, this one's yours. We've got 1st through 3rd pickup is going to be at the 1st cone. 2nd through 4th is going to be at the 2nd cone. 5th and 6th is going to be at the 3rd cone. Again, the cones will be marked. There will be a sign as you drive into the parking lot. Everything is marked and people will be waving you on and as friendly as can be. Please stay in the line. You're going to want to dodge around because your thing is around the other side. We're going to keep the traffic flow going as fast as we can, and just keep in your brain, it's not 400 kids, it's only 100. It's probably less than 100. So it will go quickly. Right now, with the first and kinder we had, the kids are gone within 3 minutes of walking out there. Now I know that's only 30 kids, but it's still 30 kids that are going like that. Walkers, there is, if you're going east on Gladstone, they're going to come out over by our library LRC. There will be an aide there with them, and they'll walk straight out to you. If they're going west on Gladstone, they will go out behind the cafeteria, right through the driveway, and they will meet you at the curb. You'll see the dots to wait at. There will be signage, lots and lots of signage. First, 3rd, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, you'll see the signs. Again, it'll become second nature. We're not going to change it. As long as everything goes smooth, we're not going to change it. So we'll get the hang of it. We'll get the flow. We'll get moving like that. Look for the aids, look for the signs. And the aids, you'll start to learn who the aid is that goes with your grade level of students, because they'll be in the same spot every day. And we're going to be very consistent with that. So that should be helpful as well. This is for where our walkers are. So there is a driveway behind the cafeteria, and then our wall for where our staff parking lot is. Lots of dots. This is where you wait as walking parents, and we will have someone walk your kid to you. Over at our LRC, the kids will come through this gate. That's usually where you go in for library. Again, there's dots that you can wait here for to keep cross traffic down to a minimum. Again, in the perfect world, this is going to go very smooth. So far it's been, but we've had 3 grades, 30 kids. So we'll add the 2nd and 3rd next week, and there'll be a few things as we shift and adjust, but this should be pretty smooth and keep the foot traffic and the cross traffic from different groups to a minimum. Daily health survey. So this is one of the most important pieces. When you pick up your signs that go in your dash, you're going to pick up a stash of these green papers. My thing right there. Stash of these green papers. You'll have plenty for every day that they're here. When your student gets out of the car, the aide's going to say, "Where's your green health survey?" And the kid needs to hold it up. This is just all the guidelines for COVID checking. This is for if we have to do contact tracing. It says, my temperature is under 100 degrees. I'm breathing fine, no cough. I don't have vomiting. I haven't had contact with a COVID-19. I'm not quarantined. And then you're going to sign it. Every student has to have one of these in their hand, and they will give it to the teacher as they go into the classroom. If one is forgotten, hopefully an aide is at your car when your kid's getting out and will say, "Hey, do you have one of these?" And if you go, "Oh, shoot, we forgot," they'll hand you a pen and one of these to do really quick. So your student will have it in their hand as they go to class. In the event that someone sneaks by us, and it has happened once this week, we just say, "Hey, kiddo, you don't have a green sheet. Let's get you to the office." And then the school nurse calls and says, "Hey, mom, can you answer these questions? Do you give me permission to sign for you?" There we go. Your best bet is to put these in the car with a pen. And so you're good to go. Again, this is part of the contact tracing. This is making sure that we keep everybody safe. Let's see. Recess. They will be having a 20-minute recess. They are only on the playground with their group of kids. So if there's 4 groups in 4 kids in Miss Moore's class, those 4 kids will go to the playground and play with those 4 kids. There is playground equipment for them. And there is the playground has been separated into different quadrants: quadrant A, quadrant B, quadrant C. They will rotate every week a different quadrant. So this week they might be on the swing and the playground equipment. Next week they might be with the tetherball and the hopscotch and the ball wall. The 3rd week they might be on the upper grade playground, just them, no other upper graders, on the big structure there. So we've got them rotating, so they get 3 different areas on a rotation, 2 or 3 areas. They will have an aide that's watching just that group. They'll be able to use the restroom. Hands will be washed or sanitized on the way out. Hands will be washed or sanitized on the way in. Masks will always be worn. The only time the masks can come off is in the event that they have a snack that they will be eating during recess, which I will talk about in just a minute. So yes, recess. That I had a student, what was your favorite part? Recess. I got to play with kids outside. Which I was like, yes, yes, you're with other people live and not gaming or seeing them in the box. So there's been some great pieces. So let's talk meals. So students may bring a snack. They're only going to be able to eat that snack outside. I can't stress this enough. We've had a few bumps with this week. Outside, because that's the only time we want them taking their masks off. If they're in the classroom, they have to have that mask on. Now, if you are sending a snack, we are not providing snacks. We don't have the ability to do a snack at recess time. So please send them with something. Send them with a granola bar. Send them with a bag of popcorn. Small. Do not pack them a lunch. They have 20 minutes to use the restroom, wash their hands, and get some playtime in. And that's been a bump this week too. The hard part is we know they've been eating whenever they want. They've been at home eating whenever they want. And we want to make sure that they can still do that. But we also want to make sure that they have time to play. That's important. So yes, bring a snack. Please make sure it's one item, not a full lunch. We won't let them starve. If something happens, we will make sure we get them something. But we want to kind of get that place going. There will still be grab and go meals. So hold on. So they are going to have a meal that comes home with them. Not everybody's taking advantage of that, but the cafeteria is putting together a baggie for today's lunch and tomorrow's breakfast. Right now, they're sending it home with everybody. After a day or two, if you don't want your kiddo to take it, and if at the beginning you don't want them to, just tell them say no, baby, and then they're good to go. Okay, so that's coming home. Lunch today, breakfast tomorrow for the 2 days that they are here. You are welcome. At the end of our driveway is the cafeteria crew. They will give a lunch for anybody 18 and under 18 in your household. So if you have a 2-year-old or a 4-year-old or a middle schooler that you want to pick up a lunch for, as you drive through and pick up your kiddos, stop by the cafeteria tent and they will give you additional meals. Okay, so that will continue as we keep going. Additional things you need to know. Masks will be worn at all time. In the event that a student forgets a mask, we have disposable ones. If in the event that your student for some reason doesn't have any masks at home, we have a few cloth ones. We can provide a cloth one as long as you make sure you wash it regularly. They are white. So disposable might be better. But if you really need that cloth one, let us know. Please know that students cannot wear just a face shield. They're welcome to wear a face shield if you're more comfortable with that, but they have to have that mask that hugs their face underneath the face shield. The other thing is, while they're very popular, the gaiters that are around the neck, those are also not allowed. It has to be a mask. And that is just part of the safety precautions. That's part of the health department mandate for us schools coming back. The other thing is they cannot have a valved mask alone. If they and if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. You don't have one. But if you do have valved masks, they must be wearing a mask underneath the valved mask. So just like I said, be aware of those few things. We have plenty of masks on campus. We can provide students as needed. Things they need to make sure they bring with them. Their Chromebook with their charger. We are still using Chromebooks on campus. Now, some teachers have given directions. We're not going to use Chromebooks when they're here. Don't bring them. Listen to your teacher. This is a global presentation. I am saying bring your Chromebooks, bring your chargers. If your teacher specifically said your student does not need their Chromebook when they're on campus, your teacher pulls rank over this presentation. Okay. Same with writing and coloring and pencils and paper and all that stuff. I'm saying bring everything they would use if they're sitting at their desk at home, send in their backpack with them. If your teacher has told you they don't need X, Y, or Z, that teacher trumps this presentation because I'm doing a global presentation. They're more specific. Any workbooks that they would use daily you want to have, if they have the agendas, whatever packets, make sure they have it. We don't have extra copies here. And so there's been a few scrambles with that. We don't have extra Chromebooks. So we really want to make sure you have those pieces in your kiddo's backpack. The other really important piece, a water bottle. Every water fountain on campus, except for my refillable station, has been closed off. We have shut down the water because we don't want little mouths. If you've ever seen a little mouth try and drink from a water fountain, we are not doing that right now. So we do have the refillable water station. Most of the time, kiddos only go through about 8 ounces in the 3 to 4 hours that they're here. If you can send them with a bottle of water or a refillable container, it would definitely make life easier. We will have access to bottles of water as we need it. We will be able to walk them. So if they forget it one day, it's not the end of the world. But I really am asking if you can send a bottle with their name on it every time they're here. It will make their life easier, the teacher's life easier, and we won't have to hike to the water fountain every time they need to get a drink of water. So that is a big piece. Part of this is a presentation from the district. So I'm going to share really quick some PPE that the district has put together, and then I'm going to open up for questions.
Charter Oak Unified School District is excited to welcome back students to in-person learning. As we prepare for the return of students and staff, safety is our top priority. Here is a preview of the various safety and cleaning protocols you can expect upon your child's return. At each of our schools before entering the campus, all students and staff will complete a simple symptom questionnaire and must wear masks. With defined entry and exit locations in place to limit gathering and direct contact with others, there is signage throughout our campuses reminding students and staff about best practices, such as wearing masks, social distancing, and regular hand washing. All classrooms and offices are outfitted with touch-free hand sanitizer dispensers and high-capacity HEPA air purifiers. All desks have plastic safety dividers and are spaced 6 feet apart. Each classroom has additional supplies, such as hand sanitizer, cloth face masks, and surface cleaners. Regular sanitization of the campuses will occur, especially in high-touch areas, such as doors, restrooms, and workspaces. All of our HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems have been upgraded with MERV 13 air filters to ensure the cleanest air circulation possible, and are scheduled to be on 2 hours prior to occupancy and remain on for 2 hours after dismissal to maximize air filtration. By taking these steps, in addition with ongoing recommendations from the county, CDC, and health professionals, we seek to provide a clean, safe, and comfortable return to school. Please visit www.cousd.net for more information.
All right. So at the end of this, tomorrow, I will be sending out this presentation. There is this link to submit further questions. I'm going to stay on till about 6 o'clock if we need that long to answer anything personally for you guys. But if we finish this tonight and then you go to bed tonight and you wake up at 1 a.m, because that's where the best questions come, at 1 a.m, you can go to this link and put it in there, and I will reach out and answer anything that you might have. So that will again be in the presentation that I send. So at this time, I'm going to stop sharing. I can see almost all of you. So if you have a question, you're welcome to put it in the chat, and we can go with that. Or you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask anything you might have. Hopefully I answered a ton of the big things that you were waiting for, but throw them at me. What do we have? So good question about an IEP. So students who have special ed services, there's a lot going on with that right now. Specifically right now, in this moment today, students will go to their gen ed classroom and then they will Zoom with their special ed teacher in that classroom or on a bench outside. We've got special headphones with special mics that make it ramped up and better than any mic they've ever had. That's where we are right now. Our current SELPA, so that is the special ed for all of this area, they are working on guidelines trying to get it so that kids can come out of their class and go meet with their special ed teacher. So Miss Estrada, Miss Risers, or the speech teacher, Miss Guantes. Right now, they cannot go see those teachers in their classroom because every time I send a kid there and I send a kid from another room, that is a cross cohort, and I can't do that. We need to keep them in one cohort. That being said, I have a strong feeling that by the end of the month, the SELPA will have come up with a game plan, and they will be allowed to be in 2 cohorts or possibly 3 cohorts that will allow them to step out of class and go meet with their SAI teacher if needed. So currently those IEP minutes are covered within the Gen Ed classroom via Zoom. Yes, the last day of school is still planned for May 28th. We are not pushing that further back. It will be May 28th, no matter what, I promise. The first day for 2nd grade, they will be led to classrooms directly. I know my daughter will be stressed about getting to the correct place. I promise, Rose, we will take good care of her and get her there. We are going to have so many bodies out there. And then here's the other thing is the kindergarten through 2nd grade classes have an aide assigned to them. And most of the aides in those classrooms are aides that the students are familiar with. So it really does allow someone to be there to walk them up and guide them. We have right now, we have all these bodies standing around because we had 30 kids. And so I have 8, 9, 10, 11 people standing out in front of the campus to get kids where they need to go. So your babies will get exactly where they need to go, I promise. And I think we're more worried as adults than our little people are. They're like, I got this. So we'll get them there, no worries. And if your student is nervous, tell the aide that opens the car door, she's nervous. Can you make sure she gets where she is? And that aide can radio and we can get them where they need to go. Wiggle chairs. So as we see needs for individual kids within the classroom, because we're returning to campus, we will make sure needs are taken care of. So if a student needs an extra walk around the halls, if we need to figure out ways for wiggle seats, if we've got those kind of things, we will take care of that. Temperatures are not being checked anywhere. Teachers will have to do a survey just like the students do. So like you're handing in this green slip, the teachers before they step on campus are answering the same questions on a Google form for contact tracing. So the same steps, measures we're taking for when the students step into the class, we're doing the same with the teachers stepping in. Yes, if there is an inhaler needed, I am going to write that name down right now, Christina, and I'm going to have my nurse call you tomorrow. I think I saw your face somewhere in there.
Okay, I'll just.
So I will make sure that Terry calls tomorrow to get that inhaler piece set up. Good question. I saw someone's hand up, I thought. These are great questions. Keep them coming. Do not leave here without knowing something. Okay. And here's what I can promise. We have so many great pieces in place. Your babies are safe. We would not have opened our campus if we weren't 100% ready to do this. And know that we've had a daycare going and we've had a daycare going and we've had a small group of a cohort of kids going since November. Well, daycare's been all year and the cohort's been since November, and we've had no COVID, knock on wood, incidents at this point. So we've got some great protocols in place. Yes, I would call to double check that your students are in the same group, but I think we've got them in the same group, but maybe call and just double check or send me an email. And then the kiddos will start. So if you're a 3rd grader, which I believe David is a 3rd grader, he can show up at 7:45. They will go 8 to 12. His teacher will walk them out at 12 o'clock and he'll be ready to go home at that point. Now that does not mean that they don't have afternoon assignments. There's still some of that asynchronous stuff that teachers assign, those iReady pieces and those kind of things. 4th and 5th grade will not start till the following week. I will do a 4th and 5th grade meeting next Thursday night.
Okay, I had a question,
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Sharp. I'm Olivia's mom. She's in the H, which I believe is your group A, and she's going to be Monday and Tuesday, 8 to 12. I was hearing something like that's Monday and Tuesday. Something different was for Friday. So what happens the rest of the week? They just resume at home on their Zoom class? Yep.
Because our teachers are teaching both groups at the same time. So it's fun to watch. And Miss Alderetti will tell you it's a little tap dance that they're learning how to do. But they're teaching the kids at home and in person for different parts of the day at the same time. So some teachers are doing a class meeting with everybody. So they've got kids on Zoom and kids in front of them. And then there'll be some small groups. Some of the teachers are doing small group where it's just the kids at home for a little while the kids in the classroom are doing independent work. And then they flip-flop it. That's why there's some aides in the room to support. So when they're not on campus, they will be in Zoom for their typical schedule doing those things.
Okay, so still Monday through Friday, 8 to 12, as far as
You have to
just regular school week, just 2 days on campus.
yes. And Fridays might look a little different for some teachers.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And no one will be able to get out of the car from this point on. We let our TK, kinder, and first grade families get out of the car because for most of them, it was either A, their first time on campus, or B, they never got to do the kindergarten tour. This is where the first grade classrooms are. This is where the bathrooms are. So we let our little guys' parents come on, and it was only 30 families each of the 2 sets of days. So at this point, nope, your kiddos are going to have to hop out of the car. And unfortunately, we will take care of them and get them there, mom and dad, I promise. I saw a question that I missed. How seamless has the in-person? Honestly, everybody was a little nervous, and Miss Alderete can say we had our TK through first grade teachers share yesterday, and they said, I was really scared, but it's not bad, it's fine. It is different. It is different. I mean, we're teachers now watching little people on the screen and little people in person. But it's been pretty awesome to watch. I've walked into classrooms. I wish I could share a picture, but for privacy purposes, I can't. But I've walked in to see little people laying on their stomachs, writing on whiteboards while the other kids on the class are on this big screen. And so it's working. Is this the best? No, nothing's the best except for all of them being with us every day, 5 days a week. But it is working, and our teachers are going to make it look awesome. And it's going to be bumpy. So it's going to be patience on both sides. If you have a concern, speak out kindly with your teacher, and teachers will reach out to you if they're struggling with things too. We've been doing these amazing things that we never would have pictured this time last year, and now we just changed the game all over again. So the adjustment it took for us to get in the groove, it's going to take that. I keep saying we've got 8 weeks. By next week, we've got 7 weeks, and it's going to be great. If you've chosen to send your kid back, I promise it will look more amazing than you could have ever imagined. That was a really good question about the seamless. The teachers are talking one piece at a time, so just pay attention to your teachers giving you information. The assigned in-person days are a challenge for families. Yes, you can request to switch days. Reach out via email, reach out via phone. The things that might restrict is the balance for how many kids we have. Right now, our numbers are pretty flexible. So we're able to make most of those requests happen. So just reach out, the sooner the better, so that we can do it tomorrow or even tonight, send an email. Your students are assigned based on their last name. So if they are A through L, they're a Monday, Tuesday. If they're M through Z, they're a Wednesday, Thursday. And they start next week. 2nd and 3rd grade start next week. 4 through 6 is the week after. Thank you for the applause, Christina. Thank you. Our teachers are doing amazing things. Like this has been a year. Our parents are doing amazing things. Think about what we were doing this time last year, and the disconnect and the ways we were trying to maneuver and figure things out. We had packets. We had a few iReady minutes. There were some teachers trying Zoom. And now you have these kids that are loading your computers and getting things set up and doing technology at a level that we could not have envisioned. So, people keep saying that term learning loss. It's not a learning loss. It's a learning shift. Our kids have shifted what they've learned in this last year. And it's pretty amazing. And we will continue to shift and pivot and move forward in some pretty awesome ways. These are great questions. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to stop my recording, but I will completely